So he's an Afro gospel dancehall artist, a passionate humanitarian, and a bold voice for his prison reform, with hits that inspire and a mission that transforms lives. He not only just makes music, he's making a difference from global stage to the hearts of social change. Please welcome Lamborghini. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, I had to put so much into that intro just to make sure that you know what you're doing. So
I run away from all those titles.
I hear that. I hear that. So listen, your music
Yeah.
and message is a blend of Afrobeat dancehall with a strong message of hope and positivity. Now, how do you balance entertainment with activism? And what impact do you hope your listeners would want from you?
Thank you for that great question. And again, thank you for having me today. For me, I think it's very easy for me, as from a very young age, still young, and I always had a definition of what I want to put into the universe, what I want to put into the world. So um, my music from time has always been uplifting, and encouraging joy, happiness. That's always been my goal, with my craft. And being able to now bring that world into activism, I tell you this, when I discovered about the prison situation back in Nigeria and I wanted to start going into the prison, you have to understand I wasn't a pastor, I wasn't a motivational speaker. All I had was entertainment, music. So I reached out to the prison authority and said, hey, you allow, pastors, you allow all these motivational speakers, imam,
Mm,
groups into the prison. How about we musicians? I want to start organizing concerts in prisons. So because of the kind of music I already do, it was a easy, transition of balance for me to be able to say, hey, I'm going to take what I do already and take it into the prison, organize concerts to uplift, and encourage, men and women. And when I started, uh, my concerts were it's just a music concert. We did it in a way that everybody from all kinds of religion, as far as you're within the facility, you're welcome.
mm.
There was no separation because that's what God told us to do, right? He said, go into the world and and we bring the world together, go into the world and preach, and do what you have to do. So for me, it was very important that I wasn't going into prisons and leaving anyone behind. It was very important to make sure everybody came. So I had like I had guys, DJs, you name it, and we started having like thousands of inmates in
Mm.
attendance, you know, um, and it became a life-changing journey for me. So bringing that energy, that positive vibe, that music, and combining it, with activism. For me, I just feel like that's what I'm destined to do, which is wherever I find myself, I only have one mission to uplift people. I don't care where you're from, I don't care anything. As far as you are a human being created by God, I want to be able to reach you, and that is the light that guides me through my journey.
You know, I mean, I've been into a prison and done prison ministries, and sometimes it can be easy, and there's times when it's almost like punching through a brick wall.
Yep.
Can you give us a testimony of a great testimony of when you've been into the prison and how somebody maybe has been blessed through your ministry?
Well, so first and foremost, when I go into so I've had three different experiences because I've
Mm.
been in prisons in Nigeria, which is, Africa. I've been in the prison in the UK. I was in HMP Leicester.
Wow.
Yeah. And then I've been to several prisons here in America, right? And I'll say this. I think one of the things that has helped me to be able to touch these guys, on a very deep scale is whenever I go in there, I go in without judgment, you know. I always go in with a leveling, like we're all here. Nobody's greater than anybody. Like, and once you approach them from that perspective and we start digging into like, my music with them, the message I have for them, encouragement, these guys just begin to open up. I don't know what it is, but I think that is one of the gifts God has given me. Like I said, I've been into some of the toughest prisons you can ever imagine. I've met with guys that, you're looking at them, just them looking at you, you're scared that they are looking at you. But I've seen the hardest guys cry, after I'm done, with my session with them. And the biggest thing I've heard so far that I've noticed is uh I hear a lot of thank you for, saying what we have heard before, but saying it in a way that it means something truly to us now. Because it's almost like there's nothing you want to say to them,
Mm.
but it's the ability to be able to communicate it with them on a deeper level. And because of this, a lot of these facilities, these guys demand I come back again, and that's how I I've done something great. We've gotten freedom for a lot of them back in Nigeria before I left. And then sometimes they send me letters, they write letters to me just telling me of, how impactful literally 3 days ago, I was on live on our me and my wife's social media platform, and a young guy was on the live and was telling me, thank you so much for your words of encouragement when you came to Jessup. And it didn't dawn on me because, like I said, I've gone to so many facilities. It was like I was one of the inmates. I was like, oh my God.
Mm.
So right there, and he just kept writing, how impactful my visit was, So um those life-changing moments, are moments that, this is why we do what we do. It's thousands and thousands of people that have been impacted positively, and I'm grateful for it.
Is there any plans for a sort of like an after prison care service, or do you point them to people who do that service after your ministry?
So I point them to, for now, I just point them to people who do it, but I have a big vision to establish something that would serve as, aftercare down the line in the future. Hopefully our music grows bigger and we are able to, do some of this work, with ease. And, so I do have a huge plan for that. I've gotten jobs for some, back in Nigeria. I've supported some businesses, you know. Um, some got out and they were not able to function, because they were not just able to find their way immediately. And we've been able to support them to get back, try and get back on their feet, stuff like that. So, but hopefully, as we grow musically and as things are growing bigger, we'll keep doing the best we can for them.
That's what that's encouraging to hear, that
Thank you.
at least, there is something or somebody's coming in and encouraging, and the fact that at least you can point them to something, great, which is fantastic.
Thank you
Now,
so
I,
much.
I want to talk about your viral podcast, Ling and Lamb, which you do with your wife. First of all, what is it all about? How did it come to pass, and also what impact does that have on your music as well?
Okay. Well, it's not a podcast really. It's content. We just create content. And that came about because when we got married, my wife actually, she just started documenting our experience, like, two we're from two different culture, two different everything, two different continents. Upbringing is totally different. And putting us together in the same house, you can just imagine the drama and the excitement and all the shenanigans every day. So for us, we were just sharing our experience and people fell in love with it. And it just blew up on TikTok. We went viral on TikTok, and it went from TikTok to YouTube to Instagram, and And then it became this beautiful global community that we have now across all platforms. Um, and we're just grateful to be able to share, we share all kinds of things, food, pranks, love, relationships, shenanigans, lifestyle, like, everyday relatable, conversations. And that has really impacted my music because true, our Ling and Lamb audience didn't even know I was a musician at first.
Mm.
They just fell in love with this goofy guy having fun with his wife. And when I started introducing the music to them, they're like, "Oh my God, you do music?" I was like, "Yeah, I do music," like, and they started, of course, when people love you for something, it's not easy to get them to look at something else, but like I always said, my music is impactful because it's positive, it's uplifting, it's joyful, it's happy, dance, celebration. So it's easy for our Ling and Lamb audience to start relating to that because also all our content is so positive driven, to the point that I think me and my wife were talking the other day and we're like, some of the messages that we've received from our fans is so deep. Imagine reading messages from people telling you, I'm fighting, I'm going through chemotherapy, and you guys keep me entertained. I'm going through, like, people are in the hospital watching us, people are in their offices watching us, people are in their homes watching us, people, like, it's the impact is beyond beautiful, and we see children, grandparents telling their kids about our content. We see kids telling their parents about our content. So it's like, for us, we're grateful that we're able to put out content that is family friendly, to the point where everybody is enjoying it. The kids are enjoying it, the teenagers are enjoying it, the parents are enjoying it, the grandmas are enjoying it. Hey, it's the biggest blessing you can ever think of.
You know, did you ever think that, from someone who was brought up in Nigeria, that you would ever be in a situation like this where you've got, you're going viral on TikTok, you've got music hits under your belt? Did you ever think that you would ever land in a situation like this?
I always thought, so because I've always done music, I've always hoped and worked hard that someday my music would blow up, right? But I never thought about content and TikTok. Nah. Like, nah. It was, look, I was this very, like, I'm goofy, but nobody knew that on social media, because all I did was music and prison reform, which is very serious, like, I'm dealing with, like, tough guys every day, so I had no time there was no time for me to even have that kind of fun. I didn't even know I had it in me until I met my wife,
Wow.
you know? And when I met her, she's goofy, playful, like, sometimes I'm looking at her, I'm like, she's just cracking a dance around the house, like, and I just said to myself one day, I'm like, you better live life, just enjoy life, because being happy and embracing this personality inside of you doesn't mean it doesn't stop your music from being impactful. It doesn't stop the prison reform movement from being impactful. If anything, it just makes sure that while I'm trying to make everybody happy, I'm actually happy myself. So Ling and Lam actually unlocked a different personality inside of me that I didn't even know, the world will ever get to see. So it's the way I put it is, I always say, you cannot choose how God is going to bless you. You can try, but no. Only God knows how and when he's going to bless you or what he's going to use to bless you. You can never choose that for God. So Ling and Lamb is one of those things that God used to bless us, and we're forever grateful for it.
God, as they would say, God is good. He is
Yes, God is
amazing.
good.
He is amazing. So I want to ask you this question. Now, So far, you're internationally known from Lagos, but you're internationally known.
Yeah.
What has been the biggest obstacle or challenge that you've come across so far in your walk?
I don't really use the word obstacle, brother. I am a fighter, so that was a really tough question. I would say the biggest obstacle that I came across, and I'm grateful I overcame it, was truly embracing my true self. Um, Allowing myself to embrace who I am, allowing myself to embrace the message that I want to put out with my music without losing focus because of trend, because of what my colleagues are doing. Like, I think that's the biggest obstacle for me, sincerely, because
Mm,
every day I wake up and I'm faced with challenges of life. I don't see them as obstacles. Excuse me. I don't see them as obstacles, but I just see them as the things that needs to happen in order for me to value that thing that I'm looking for, like, so I see them as just, those challenges will come. But I think the biggest obstacle, and I'm grateful I overcame it, was embracing my true personality. And regardless of the noise and regardless of who's buying what, who's building what, who's blowing up, it's none of my business. The ability to be able to stay true to me, and understand that my journey and my destination is mine. Nobody's going to do it unless I do it. So I would say that's my biggest obstacle that I overcame, you know.
okay, you did that one well. You did that one well. You did that one well. I could see you navigating through that question, and you got
No,
you got
but
through the tunnel, which was good. I could see the light at the end of the tunnel when you did that question, which is so cool. So okay, so about nearly just under a month ago, you put out a challenge.
yeah.
And it was a challenge that you had a new single and you put the acapella out. And even yours truly, myself, I even jumped in on the competition, but alas, I didn't win. I didn't even get an Instagram look in, but it's okay. You're forgiven. You're forgiven. But I want to ask, I mean, it was all fun. It was all fun. And
Yeah.
I
Thank
believe
you.
and I believe it really, I believe it started off some people's careers. What made you want to do that? What was the whole thing behind that? And just tell us what happened and why.
Sincerely, Paul and Silas Beats Challenge was everything happened in one day. I woke up in the morning, myself and my wife finished our usual morning prayer motivational moment. And I started singing the song. I said, "Hey, do you guys sing this song in America?" Paul and Silas, they pray. And she was just looking at me like, "What are you talking about?" I was like, "You don't sing this song?" She said, "No." And I said to her, I said, "This is a chorus that my grandparents used to sing, like when we were young, we'll go to church and, you know, um, prayer moments, prayer devotion, night vigil. This is the song it's just a chorus. That's it. It doesn't have a verse, nothing. It's just one of those chant songs you sing into the other and stuff." And she said, no, she doesn't know the song. So I kept singing it all morning. And for some reason, something in me just said, go to the studio and record it. So I went right downstairs, turned on my system, got in the studio, and I recorded the a cappella. Now, I did not record the full a cappella. I was recording one take to send to my producer and say, hey, get me a beat for this. Like, I want to do something with this. Mind you, this is not even the record I was about to put out. I have a whole different song that I'm about to put out. This was just me having fun with my wife, and I went downstairs. And after recording the first take, harmonies were coming to me. So I just kept recording. And that's how I recorded the whole a cappella. So I called my producer and I said, hey, look at what I just recorded. Like, I need a beat for this. And right there, the conversation just started. And we're like, hey, what if we just put it out right now and just say, hey, who can make a beat for this, and put a price to it and see if anybody will respond. Everything happened the same day.
Wow.
And then I turned on the camera, recorded the video I recorded, sang the a cappella, posted it, and that was it. Like literally the same day. And I wasn't even expecting that amount of producers to come out. Like it's not like open verse where you see so many artists, want to jump on it. I've never done anything like this, asking producers to come out, and a lot of them came out, and they came to the point where it became tough to even pick. Now, some of the fans are like, no, we prefer the a cappella version. We don't want anything on it.
Wow.
We don't want the beats. Just give us the a cappella. So I was like, okay. So what we did, myself, my team, we went ahead and put out the a cappella immediately so that people who want that can have it. And they already streaming it. They love it. A lot. Some people are already streaming it.
Yeah.
And then the search for the producers started, and eventually we were able to find a winner. Josh Deji, the guy that won, the amazing, talented producer. He gave me the energy the song has. Like what I said. This is a song, is a chance that we used to wake ourselves up. Like get up, let's go. Like Paul and Silas, they pray. You're
Mm-hmm.
praying, and the whole place is shaking. Like, and his beats just gave me that. But this also, a lot of the producers have also DM'd me because I tried my best to repost as much as I could. I knew I couldn't repost 100 and over 100 of them, but I tried, and they were so grateful because it brought exposure to a lot of them as well. People started following them, finding them, their fans got excited. So it's, even though they didn't win the cash prize, but it almost
Yeah.
feels like a win for them as well because it brought people to their platform.
Yeah.
It brought people to them, so it's like um it became a very big win. And right now, we just actually finished I just finished recording and producing properly with the producer. Like literally this morning, I sent it to my engineer for mixing and mastering. And I also just finished recording another song with one of the producers. He was not even on the top 5, but he made it to top 10. And I was just listening to his work. I was like, man, this guy is good. Forget about Paul and Silas. This guy is really, really good. And I
Mm.
reached out to him, called him, and we got in the studio and we did something already. So it was such an organic movement
Mm.
that I think has blessed a lot of people. So I'm grateful for that.
Yeah, I believe it's blessed a lot of people, but I believe that it's also been a start of so many people's careers, or people
Yep.
who didn't feel that they had it in them, or maybe had put down the skill and started back up. So in a way, like you say, it's kind of a win-win situation, which has been a real. I mean, for me, I know that I felt really blessed in doing it. It was
Yep.
something that was, I was told to do, but in doing it, I got a lot of joy out of it and just realized, okay, this could be something here. This could be something here. So yeah, feeling blessed, and
Amazing.
congratulations.
Thank you so much. I'm
Congratulations.
grateful. I'm grateful, I'm grateful I was able to do it, and I'm grateful that, all these great producers, talents, came out. And again, it's not all the time you see, young people and, everybody of different category coming together to do something like this, So again, like I said earlier, I only have one goal: putting out positivity into the
That's it.
world, to the universe. That's because I feel like that's why God put us here.
And speaking of the goal, what are your goals and aspirations for the future in regards to Lamborghini?
So my goal, like I did my first concert in November in Brooklyn. Big shout out to everybody that came out. We had a full room, at the Sultan, a venue called the Sultan Room. It was packed, and so this year my goal is, we want to get it on the road. I want to start performing, doing, little tour, going start small. That's me and my team's belief. We don't let it grow, let all the fans that already love us from the social media space with the shenanigans of Ling and Lam, start bringing them together, like to also enjoy the music. So my goal is put out more music, collaborate more, get on the road, do some talk. Come to the UK. I really want to have something in the
Come,
UK
come.
soon,
We'll definitely host you.
so like basically that's the future for my music, to be able to take it to the level. And hopefully we get to the point where my overall, I have a picture in my head. It is people of all kinds of race, ethnicity in a stadium, united as one people, expressing and enjoying positive music. That's the day that happens. Yeah,
Well,
that's my ultimate goal.
it's
Yeah,
been done before, and God can do it again. So,
yeah,
you
yeah.
know, uh, just very quickly, Lamborghini. What? Where did that come from?
My dad. That came from my dad. May his soul rest in perfect peace. So my dad was a marine engineer when we were young, and I grew up in a separated home. My parents were separated, and we didn't get time to enjoy a lot of time with my dad. So whenever I had the privilege to be around him, I was one of those child that was all over him. Like I want to sit on his head, on his shoulder. Like when I tell you I'm all over that man, I was all over him. So one day he just and one day like I would say he was stressed out, like what I mean, like it's like okay, he would send me on errand, like go do this, go do this, go do this, go do like so many things just to be able to buy him time. I didn't think about it like that then, but now I grew older. I was like, oh, this man was just trying to buy some time from my trouble. And the speed at which I finish everything and come back. So one day he said, are you a Lamborghini? Like he was talking about, how did you finish all this? And everyone around started calling me Lamborghini, Lamborghini. Like, and when I lost my dad, at the time I already started doing music and everybody just knew me as Lamborghini. But when I lost my dad, I went and changed my middle name and made Lamborghini my official middle name as a
Mm.
way of honoring, my father, So um that's where my name came from. And now it's part of my official legal name, all over the world. Yeah.
That's a beautiful story. Very,
Thank
very
you.
beautiful.
Thank you.
Um, very quickly, how can one connect with you on socials and if they want to, people hear you, they're blessed. How can one connect with you?
Well, they can follow me on Lamborghini. That's my my personal, page for my music, and it's LAMBOGINNY. They can follow me on Instagram, Lamborghini. They can follow me on TikTok, Lamborghini. They can follow my YouTube channel as well, Lamborghini. And for the shenanigans, for the laughter, the lifestyle content, that's me and my wife, Ling and Lamb. That's LANGANDLAMB, Ling and Lamb. They can find us on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, everywhere.